blockade. Let's start with that. If you haven't noticed, Donald Trump is still, well, now seizing oil tankers and has seized three, I think, and continues to blow up boats with Pete. I love my makeup mirror Hegseth declaring that Operation whatever they call it is in full swing, and by God, we're going to try to force Maduro out. I don't know where to go with this. It raises new questions about legality. The AP reports that Trump's blockade of sanctioned oil tankers is not only raising questions about the legality of his military campaign in Latin America, but it's also fueling concerns that the U.S. could be edging closer to war, and he has done nothing to dissuade people from believing that. I will also remind people that there was a guy named Smedley Butler. War is a Racket, wrote it in 1926. He was the guy that was in charge in Latin America, and he said, I spent 33 years in the Marines, most of my time being a high-class muscle man for big business, for Wall Street and bankers. In short, I was a racketeer for capitalism. Is this anything more than what we've seen historically out of other presidents when it comes to racketeering in Latin America? That's the big question. But also, is this administration guilty of murder? I mean, without a declared war and no due process. And I've read the Constitution. He may be able to snake through the Fifth Amendment saying, it's a naval engagement and we're at war, but we have declared no war. There's been no declaration of war. There's been no due process, and these people are dead. I don't wish drug dealers any, free pass, but I would like to know what the hell we're doing in Venezuela with this blockade. I'll start with you, Mark.
We have been sanctioning Venezuela for now 20 years. So, the United States is no friend with the Venezuelan government. We've had our issues with them for a long time. And, it's perfectly fine for us to have a hardline approach. But as usual, the Trump administration and Donald Trump have just taken it to extremes. I think there is a lot of really problematic situations with respect to the legal analysis in striking boats and killing survivors. There's questions about the blockade or quarantine, as he's trying to call it, which, maybe people remember the blockade of Cuba with the Cuban Missile Crisis, but we were preventing missiles from the Soviet Union being being 90 miles off of our shore. Venezuela is not a threat. Venezuela is actually not part of the drug running that is happening. They may be using Venezuelan soil. There may be Venezuelans, but there's probably more non-Venezuelans than there are Venezuelans. And a lot of it's directed outside the United States as well. In fact, that one speedboat we were talking about in past broadcasts, where the survivors were killed, wasn't even heading towards the United States. It was going elsewhere. So this, I don't know if it's a wag the dog type situation that it's really easy to be the bully against a fifth grader when, you're in high school. And Venezuela is not a threat to us. Doesn't mean we would be able to go in and take it over so quickly, at least not without the loss of life. We think back, I guess, to Panama in 1989 and the removal of Noriega. So, it's entirely possible. And other allies, or I don't even know if to say allies, other countries that are neighbors of Venezuela don't want Maduro there either. So there is assistance and cooperation. But I'm not sure it may be the worst thing for the Trump administration to actually remove Maduro and get in a democratic type ally, because then they've lost the ability to take action against, to create a situation that makes them look tough and reactive or active.